If you were at the awards assembly last night, you know that there was a moment when Tucker Pearson came up and received an award, and he reached for the mic to ad-lib a little bit, and there was that couple of seconds where it was going like this. Well, Tucker, you are the senior speaker today, so I invite you to come up and turn the stage over to you and let you share your remarks. Tucker.
All right. Hello. Just to clarify, it was a little embarrassing last night, but I think it's really unfair that not everybody got the Star Wars music. All right. Now, for my speech. Hello, Proctor Academy, friends and family, and especially my grandparents who didn't know I was going to speak today, so I hope they're psyched. I'm a senior for about another hour at least named Tucker Pearson. I want to preface any forthcoming daydreams or hysterics with a sincere thank you towards Proctor's phenomenal faculty and staff for 4 years and my classmates for this final honor. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of cap hair, and if I sound nervous, it's just a coincidence. I'm pretty fine. All right. All right. Some of you are probably wondering why I'm up here with Kate and soon-to-be Nick. I'm wondering that a lot more after hearing Kate speak. I wrote my speech not knowing how uplifting and sweet hers would be. There are a number of qualities Nick and Kate exclude me from. I didn't get the best grades in the class, nor am I a tall, fair-haired day student from New London, which this class is the recipe for success this year. All right. My public speaking experience consists of essential public service announcements in assembly. These announcements would usually only be about, well, this long. I had planned at this point to walk off and pretend that I was done, but my feet are shaking, so I'm going to stand here. All right. And I don't actually have a watch. I don't even know how long I've been up here. So I wrote down, I wasn't going to tell you how hard it was to think of a speech or how nervous I was going to be, because I wasn't when I was writing it, because I was just sitting on my couch. But right now, it's a little different. I'm a little terrified. With any luck, this speech will be short enough to hold your attention from beginning to end, even if I say some things that are not entertaining. And hopefully it'll also last just long enough where maybe at the end you'll zone out for a second, wake up, be like, whoa, did I miss something? I'm going to clap. I bet he said something good. So, but you can zone out at any time. You don't have to wait till the end to stop paying attention. Just pretend you were to humor me. All right. I will get to the point eventually. All right, you can't do that after every paragraph. You can't. All right, I'm not going to stand up here till Brenda throws a shoe at me. I mean, thanks, Brenda, for standing in the aisle for that. I was going to say it no matter what, but you can tell a lot, I think, about who you reference when you talk, like speech givers. Last year, Al Milley mentioned Ian Hamlet, and I thought that was a smart move. It could pretty much only set the tone of the story as hilarious. I mentioned Brenda because I thought, put a popular faculty here, maybe they'll like me more. All right. And I was writing this. I know Nick and Kate went through this too. All sorts of people came up to me, and they offered sincere advice on what to talk about. At first, my heart was touched by their concern. Most commonly, though, they'd come up and be, you should write about me, or Tucker, you should know. If you don't have anything to talk about, you should talk about me. And that touch to the heart slowly turned into a kick to the shin. All right. All right, I turned to alternative sources for inspiration. I turned inward. Try to imagine delving into the deepest parts of my mind for a truly monumental idea. I was stuck in this deep, dark hole, wondering what I could talk about. I saw a light, though. It was a deep, philosophical thought about the human condition. It stirred me. As soon as it happened, I Sparta kicked it down, and I thought of a subject people wouldn't hate. So, no progress yet, I'm sorry. I know a lot of you don't really care at all what I'm talking about right now. Most of you are in a hot tent, but it's kind of windy now. But it was hot. And you're waiting to get to the dessert table, and you don't know how many more kids are going to be up here, but it's about 100, so you should get comfortable. All right. And before your attention span is completely gone, I'm going to mention the only other speech I've ever tried giving. It was my sophomore year during the Hayes speaking contest. I wrote my intelligent and thought-provoking speech about sandwiches. For the sake of people that are quick to fantasize about sandwiches and might be a little peckish right now, I won't go into detail, but my attempts to compare a sandwich to life in a grand sweeping statement got my butt promptly handed to me by people talking about actual things. I tried to make myself feel better and say things like, "You can speak again later," or "You'll have another chance." I didn't actually believe any of it, but somehow I'm up here now, and now that you're familiar with my public speaking career, your expectations are so drastically lowered, you're just happy I'm remembering to tie my shoes. All right. You know, luck is a funny thing. You might wonder if I'm getting to something. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about luck, but I don't, so I'll move on. All right. Kind of, after I've been working on the speech a while, people would start coming up to me after they kind of knew I wasn't going to write about them. They were asking me, "What's it going to be about?" And I was just kind of like lazy. I didn't really want to talk. I'd be like, "Nothing, nothing." And a couple of people that took it literally compared me to George Costanza pitching his sitcom to NBC. George would say, "It's a show about nothing." And that didn't go over well. To refresh your memory, George Costanza is a little short, awkward, gross, bald guy that's friends with Jerry Seinfeld. That's the only way I resemble him, though. But I'd like to believe there is something meaningful in all this. For my feelings' sake, I would prefer if you didn't tell me otherwise. You're all sitting there with mixed expectations. A bunch of you, for some reason or another, voted for me to stand here for a while and make noise. And you never really told me what you were expecting. You kind of left me in the dark. Honestly, I really hope everybody gets something out of this moment, even if you're just sitting there and like find a new button on your watch or cell phone or something. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know. I don't know if it matters this much, but everything I've said, as far as I know, is true. Like, I think this is the truth. And it fits in with my quote, because it's like customary to give a quote in these speeches. I found a quote I really like. I'm going to throw it in now. This quote is from Oscar Wilde, and like, he is an awesome person. He has a good wit. I haven't read too much of him, but on Wikipedia, his quotes are easily the best. No. I did read one book by him because it was assigned. I don't skimp out on the homework. I'm not being sarcastic. The quote is, "Never underestimate its importance to me either." The quote is, "If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they'll kill you." So, I don't want to get into all the ways this could be interpreted because I thought of a lot when I first read it. So, I'll drop that quote. There it is. I analyzed it. It's over. All right. When people ask you what I talked about, I'm betting even 1 minute after I finish, or right now, you're probably saying, "What is that kid talking about? Who wanted him to speak?" Here's what you can tell your friends I said, or did. I got up here, because I didn't actually say that. I talked about all these things I noticed whenever I tried to actually write this speech. I ended up giving a speech about writing a speech. I got some cheap laughs. I also got some rich laughs, or I'd planned to when writing this. I don't actually know the difference. Basically, I rambled, and I said a lot of things that kind of made you waste some time. You know, you want to get to the dessert table, I mentioned that. But hopefully, you found some humor in it and managed to enjoy it a little bit, because I don't think a lot of things are as bad as some people make them out to be. That's the moral of my story. I'm done. I just want to thank everybody, friends, faculty, and if you're wondering if I'm not thanking you personally right now, just assume I am, because I have no reason not to. So, thank you.
Duncan Sullivan. We welcome you to the stage. I don't know how you are going to follow that.